Hi, today I'm going to show you how you can cut leather using the Silhouette CAMEO 4. For starters, first we need the right blade. The CAMEO 4 by default ships with an auto blade that's very thin and precise and perfect to cut delicate patterns in thin materials like vinyl. But for leather we will need a thicker blade, so this one is the craft blade. Contrary to the auto blade, it's manual adjustment only. Once you have your blade, we will also need a cutting mat. So here I'm using a cheap third-party cutting mat. So when you get some leather dust on it, it will make it a lot less sticky, but at least it's cheaper to replace than the official Silhouette ones. Once you have your piece of leather that you want to cut, place it on the cutting mat in a way that the smooth grain side is on the mat and the sweat side is pointing upwards. That will make sure that we get the least amount of particles on the mat, and it will also make it easier to peel off later. On the CAMEO 4 there are two carriages, so number 1 and number 2. The first one is designed for accuracy and has a cutting force of 210 grams. And the second carriage is made to cut with force and it can apply up to 5 kilograms. So we'll set our blade to 10 and place it in the second carriage. Now that the blade and the mat are ready, let's also set up the software. In Silhouette Studio, let's add a quick shape for the demo. And now in the Send tab, first we'll need to disable carriage 1 by selecting the shape we just drew and selecting No Cut. Next, in carriage 2, we'll make sure that we have the material set to leather, suede, action as craft cut, and for tool the craft blade. Also select this shape and make sure that cut has been selected. Once everything is ready, you can send the file and the CAMEO will cut it out. The trick to making leather cutting on CAMEO work is to add blade depth little by little, not to make the whole cut in just one go, as that will probably result in the blade getting stuck in the material, becoming misaligned and ruining all the leather that you have cut. Instead, I have usually started with the 10 setting on the blade depth, and then I had 3 or 5 to it with every next cut, so that there is never too much material to be cut in one single pass. It takes a bit of experimenting as each piece of leather is different. They all have different flexibility and thickness, so what works for one piece of leather might not work for another piece. Here, for example, there was just a small defect in the leather. It made the blade get stuck and that messed up the whole cut. Here I don't know why, but it also got stuck. Finally, let's talk about these leather weight shapes. They are due to the fact that the craft blade cannot rotate by itself. It needs to be dragged along some material to rotate. Make sure that they are in the negative spaces of your cut and not on the material that you want to keep clean. And that's especially important on rectangular parts, as every time there is a corner, the craft blade will make a loop around the corner to turn it at 90 degrees. Things simply cannot be too close to each other, as the craft blade has its own necessities. Finally, here is the piece that I have just cut out of some 1.5mm natural leather. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. This is actually a pattern to make an AirTag holder. You can see me finish this quick project in this next video here. Also, if this video was useful, please leave a like and I will see you in the next one.